You've probably never noticed the exact moment it happens. You're having a bad day. Maybe you're sitting quietly. Maybe you're crying. Maybe you're just staring at nothing. And then, without a single word from you, your dog walks over. They don't bark. They don't bring a toy. They just come and sit right beside you, like they knew. Beat. Most people smile at that and think, they're sweet. But what's actually happening in that moment is something far more profound than most owners ever realize. And once you understand it, you will never look at your dog the same way again. Think about the last time you were genuinely sad. Not just tired, not just frustrated. Actually, deeply sad. Where was your dog? If they were anything like most dogs, they were there. Close. Maybe resting their head on your knee. Maybe just sitting quietly nearby, watching you with those eyes that somehow say everything without a single word. You didn't call them. You didn't ask. They just came. And here's what I want you to think about for a second. Your dog lives in a world with no language, no calendars, no explanations. They don't know what depression is. They don't know what a hard day at work means. They can't read your texts or understand your problems. And yet, somehow, they found you in your worst moment. How? That question has a real answer, and it's more emotional and more scientifically fascinating than you might expect. Let's start with something that sounds almost unbelievable. Your dog knows you're sad before you show it. Not because they're psychic, not because they've learned your routine, because they can smell your emotional state. When human beings experience sadness, fear, stress, or grief, our bodies change. Our cortisol levels shift. Our skin releases different chemical compounds. Our breath changes. Our sweat changes. And your dog's nose, which is estimated to be anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000 times more sensitive than yours, picks up every single one of those changes. The moment your emotional chemistry shifts, your dog already knows. Think about what that means. Before your face falls, before the tears come, before you've even fully processed that you're upset, your dog is already reading you. They're not reacting to your sadness. In a way, they're predicting it. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Knowing you're sad is one thing. Choosing to come to you, that's something else entirely. And that choice reveals something deeply emotional about the bond your dog has with you specifically. There's a word researchers use to describe what dogs feel toward the people they love most. Secure attachment. It's the same term developmental psychologists use when they describe the bond between a baby and its mother. Studies have shown that when dogs are stressed or scared, they don't just seek any human. They seek their human, their specific person. You. And the reverse is also true. When you are distressed, your dog doesn't just sense discomfort in the environment. They feel pulled toward you, specifically, because you are their secure base, their emotional anchor, the center of their world. So, when your dog checks on you when you're sad, they're not performing a random act of sweetness. They are responding to a deeply embedded emotional bond, an attachment so strong that your pain literally pulls them toward you. Pause. And now I want you to think about something that might stop you in your tracks. Your dog has felt this pull toward you, probably hundreds of times, for things you never even noticed you were feeling. The quiet frustration after a long day, the loneliness on a Sunday afternoon, the worry you carried around for a week but never fully expressed. They felt all of it, and they came, every time. You just may not have been paying attention to when they arrived. Let's talk about what checking on you actually looks like, because dogs don't do it the same way every time. Sometimes it's obvious. They walk directly to you, push their nose into your hand, rest their head on your lap. But sometimes it's quieter than that, and those are the moments most owners completely miss. The glance. Your dog walks past you, stops, looks at you for just a second, then continues on. That's not nothing. That's a check-in. They were reading your face, your posture, your energy, and they noted it. The proximity shift. You sit down somewhere unusual, the floor, a different room, a dark corner, and within minutes your dog has moved to be near you, not playing, not asking for anything, just there. The stillness. Dogs are often playful, curious, always moving, but when you're going through something hard, some dogs become remarkably still, quiet, calm, like they're matching your energy on purpose. Because they are. The paw. That soft press of a paw against your leg. It seems so small, but in dog language that kind of physical contact is an act of intentional connection. They chose to touch you because they wanted you to feel less alone. Beat. None of these are accidents. Every single one of them is your dog looking at you and making a decision, a conscious, caring decision, to stay close to you when the world feels heavy. But the most heartbreaking part of all of this? They do it without any expectation of understanding why you're sad, without needing an explanation, without needing you to be okay first. They just come. For a long time, scientists debated whether dogs could actually empathize, whether they could feel something in response to your emotions, or whether they were simply trained by reward to approach you. The debate is largely settled now. In one landmark study, researchers found that dogs not only responded differently to crying humans versus humming humans, but that they oriented toward the person crying with behaviors consistent with what we'd call comfort-seeking behavior. They approached, they made contact, they were gentle. What's remarkable is that this response happened even with strangers. Dogs who had never met the person crying still moved toward them. Imagine what that response looks like with someone they love as deeply as they love you. There's also research suggesting that when dogs look at their owners, particularly in moments of emotional connection, oxytocin levels rise, in both the dog and the owner. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same chemical that surges between a mother and a newborn child. Your dog looks at you when you're sad, and their brain releases a bonding hormone. They aren't just near you. They are bonding with you in real time through your pain. I want you to stop here for a second, because I think this is the part that really matters. Your dog doesn't know what your job is. They don't understand what rent means, or a broken relationship, or a phone call that went wrong. They don't know what grief is, in the way you know it. What they know is this. The person they love more than anything in this world is hurting. That's it. That's the whole picture for them. They don't need context. They don't need explanation. They don't need you to be strong or put together or okay. They just need to be near you. And in a world where so many people require you to explain your pain before they'll sit with you in it, your dog asks for nothing. They just show up. Pause. Think about the loyalty that requires. Think about a creature who has no agenda, no distraction, no place they'd rather be. Just a quiet, unwavering decision to be wherever you are, in whatever state you're in. Your dog has done this for you. Probably more times than you've ever counted. On the days you cried alone. On the nights you sat in the dark. On the mornings that felt impossible to start. They were there. Not because they were trained to be. Not because they wanted something from you. Because to them, you are everything. And when everything is hurting, they come. Here's the beautiful, complicated truth about dogs who are deeply bonded to their owners. They don't just sense your pain. They carry it. Research on the emotional contagion between dogs and owners shows that when owners experience chronic stress, so do their dogs. Their cortisol levels mirror yours. Their sleep patterns change. Their behavior shifts. Your emotional state doesn't just affect you. It lives in your home, and your dog absorbs it, which means that when you're struggling, they're struggling too, in their quiet, loyal way, not complaining, not asking for help, just carrying it alongside you. So what do they need from you in return? They need you to notice them, not just the feeding, not just the walks, but the actual noticing, the eye contact, the calm voice, the hand that reaches down without being asked, because the relationship isn't one-sided. Every time you acknowledge them, especially in a tender, connected moment, you're telling them, I see you too, And for a dog, being seen by their person is one of the most profound things in the world. They check on you because they love you in the most complete, uncomplicated way possible. The least we can do is love them back with even a fraction of that presence. So why does your dog check on you when you're sad? The real answer isn't just one thing. It's the chemistry. The extraordinary nose that reads your emotional state before you've even named it yourself. It's the attachment, the bond, so deep that your pain is a magnetic force that draws them toward you. It's the empathy, the neurological reality that your dog genuinely responds to your emotion, not as a trained behavior, but as a felt experience. And it's the love, not the complicated kind, not the conditional kind, not the kind that needs an explanation or a reason or the right timing. The simple, ancient, unbreakable kind. The kind that says, I don't know what's wrong. I don't need to know. I'm here. Dogs have been beside humans for somewhere between 15,000 and 40,000 years. They evolved alongside us. They learned our faces, our voices, our moods, our movements. They became, across thousands of generations, the only animal on Earth that genuinely looks to us. Not for food, not for survival, but for emotional connection. And somewhere in that long, quiet history together, they learned that the most important thing they could do for a human was simply this: show up when it hurts, without judgment, without distance, without needing anything in return. That's what your dog is doing when they come to you on a hard day. They're being what they've always been, in the deepest and most honest part of who they are. Your companion, your comfort, your witness, the one who chose you, not because you were perfect, but because you were you. If your dog is near you right now, and I have a feeling they might be, take a second. Look at them. Really look. Because behind those eyes is a creature who has been reading you, feeling with you, and choosing you, every single day, in a language that needs no words. Give them a little extra love today. They've probably earned more than you realize. And if this video made you think of a specific moment, a time your dog showed up for you exactly when you needed it, I'd love to hear about it. Tell me your dog's name in the comments, and tell me the moment they came through for you, because every single one of those stories deserves to be heard.